All right, Rick, now we're in a 21-foot bay boat. We've brought two other ones, one larger than this and one smaller than this. Let's talk about the reason somebody would choose a middle-of-the-road boat instead of going smaller or larger.
Well, I'll tell you what I noticed the second we stepped on this Sea Chaser by Carolina Skiff. This is not your daddy's Carolina Skiff.
Oh no, 21 feet, fully molded inner liner, molded hatches. This is normally not what you see out of a Carolina Skiff.
No, it's not, Dave. And remember, everything's a compromise. Sometimes a bigger boat's better, sometimes a smaller boat's better. This may be just the right size for what you need in a bay boat.
What I like, it's powered with a 150 Mercury, plenty of power. This boat's got all the performance you would need in something this size.
And let's be logical about it. The less planing surface you put in the water, the less fuel you're going to burn. Hence, you can use a little bit smaller motor than what we've seen on some of the other bay boats.
Right, and two, if somebody's got a smaller truck, maybe they don't have a big F-150, maybe they've got a little Jeep Cherokee, it'll pull this boat.
Well, it will. Let me tell you something. This boat is set up well for taking more than two people. This isn't just a hardcore fishing boat. You can keep your family happy on here.
All right, Rick, most any bay boat's gonna have a trolling motor. What I love about this Sea Chaser, I've got a nice flat area here to mount my trolling motor, and this is normally something you only see on bass boats, but my panel, I've got a plug for my trolling motor, I've got a 12-volt accessory plug, I can even raise the motor up and down with my trim.
And that comes standard on this boat? That's the way it comes? That's a sweet setup. Hey Dave, everybody puts rod lockers on their bay boats. Finally, one that opens right.
Absolutely. With it opening like this, with this boat on the trailer, now you can reach
in and get your rods.
Exactly. Plus it's held in place by a stainless steel shock.
Isn't that something that you never thought you'd see? Boats like this built with stainless steel shocks in them. How cool is that?
Rick, ever go down the highway and put your hand out the window of a moving car? Well, imagine your hand the size of this windshield.
Yeah?
One thing I like about the Sea Chaser, these quick disconnects, you can pull the windshield off, and now you don't have all that windage being pushed down the highway.
Less wind resistance.
Exactly.
I'll tell you something else too, Dave. You know what I've started having to do with my bay boat is I wrap this in saran wrap when I'm traveling down the highway just because of the bugs.
Right. Well, not necessary on this boat. Just take the windshield off, bugs aren't an issue.
I like it. Dave, I'll tell you one thing. This bay boat has a really cool console. I'm not used to seeing, look at the labels. Everything's labeled, every switch. It's beautiful to look at. That is a good looking console.
As a former boat builder, I'm always looking at ergonomics on a boat. Things like the toe kick under a console. That way you don't stump your toe, it makes it more comfortable for driving. But also on the seat, let's say we're gonna anchor, we're in the Keys, we're gonna be yellowtailing. Being able to push the seat back like that, now I can face backwards. That's a comfortable thing to have.
I'm proud of you. You're almost becoming a fisherman. That's exactly what a fisherman needs. He needs to be able to run with his back against it, and when he puts his lines in the water, he needs to be able to turn around and watch it. You're making real progress, my boy.
Well, let's say you're gonna use this boat for the family. You're pulling a tube, you're skiing. You can be watching the person on the tube. There's still enough room for me to get back here and drive.
Hey Dave, you ever go on a cruise?
Never, not yet.
You know where the most comfortable cabin is?
In the stern.
In the stern. You know where the comfortable place on a big sport fish is?
In the stern.
In the stern. You know where the most comfortable place on this Sea Chaser is?
Those two seats.
You're doggone right it is. This is a good idea. You got a casting platform, but if your wife's coming with you, okay, and your mother-in-law, stick them both back here. Hey Dave, you know how I can tell a fisherman like me designed this live well instead of a boat builder like you?
How's that?
See the clear lid?
Right.
Okay, any problems I have with my live well? If my drain gets clogged up, if my pump quits, whatever, all I gotta do is turn around, check it every now and then, make sure my water level's right.
Nice circular live well too. There's no corners for your bait like you were saying earlier.
You're learning, my boy, you're learning. Not only that, Dave, the live well is lit. At night I can tell how many baits I have left and how they're doing. In fact, not only that, but every compartment on this boat is lit, even the battery box.